Hey, I'm Spencer.
And I'm Britton.
And I'm Montgomery Forrest McCleery II.
Since 2011, Buckethead has released 286 albums in his Pike series, and we're going to listen to them
3 at a time.
This is Getting Head.
Welcome, bot slogs, friends, and bucketheads. This is episode 26 of Gettin' Head, a Bucketcast.
We can rent a car. Wait, is that 26?
I think it's 27. I mean, you can rent it at any age, but they charge you like a lot more and like usually require a greater deposit if you're younger.
Yeah. So we're at like reasonable car rental age.
Reasonable car rental age. That's how I like them. That's hey baby. Can you rent a car without being like Can you rent a car without overdrafting your debit card? That's what I asked the ladies.
I mean, I feel like a lot of people are in that boat.
That's true.
It's still a pretty relevant question, though.
Yeah,
It
still.
Yeah.
For sure. Monty's here.
Monte
I love that.
Mcleery.
You're here. We've wanted to get Monty on the show since before there was a show.
True. We talked about him. We've talked about you,
Monty all the time.
Yeah.
You know, Monty's here. Monty's never listened to the episodes. He doesn't know how much we talk about it.
It's not that he doesn't know, it's that he doesn't care, Spencer.
Okay.
Yeah. So Monty, the listeners, the listener doesn't know who you are.
Do you want to talk about yourself?
Yeah. Tell us a little bit about yourself. How do we know you, Monty?
Well, so we know each other through Craigslist. Britt and I met. Britt responded to a Craigslist ad that I posted looking for a bass player in
2009.
2009? Yeah, whoa, 2009.
So hey, Britt, what's new?
Golly, not a bunch. That's about it. Just hanging out.
Come on, tell me. Lay it on me.
Still trying.
Lay it down. In the words of rap. I haven't seen you for a week.
Yeah, right.
Something's happened.
I'm still grieving Chick Corea. There's that.
Oh fuck.
Mostly, I'm just really sad that a fellow Scientologist is now with Xenu.
Wait, is that what they believe?
I don't fucking know. I'm just.
Can we?
Was Chick Corea a Scientologist?
Oh, fuck.
Whoa.
Can we Google, please? Can you bring up the screen sharing? Can you Google what happens when a Scientologist dies? Please.
They fucking rot, dude.
We know that, but what do they think happens? I want to know. I don't know. Monty, what do you think it is?
I don't know anything about Scientology. Okay, read this.
Oh, shoot.
Can you read this entire page of Wikipedia?
Here we go. So when the soul will be born again into the flesh of another body. So it's
it's about Isaac Hayes dying. Holy shit.
Yeah.
That sucks.
That was in 2008, dude. That was 13 years ago.
Holy shit.
Yeah,
That's before I knew you, Monty. We met.
That's like right after I would have graduated high school.
Nice, dude.
Isaac Hayes, isn't that the guy who is the voice of Chef?
Yeah,
Wait, why are you Googling Lemmy now?
I realized the other day that like Lemmy died over like 5 years ago, and I was like, it's been that long? So yeah.
Fuck, that sucks.
I know, Lemmy was cool. I bet Lemmy and Andrew smell similarly.
Can you just overdub that when I was talking
Yeah, sure.
earlier?
I'll shit on Andrew all I want.
Thanks.
I don't care.
Nice.
So wait, Britt, did you ever answer the question? Oh yeah, you did.
No, you didn't answer the fucking question. What have you been doing? Come on, give me something.
He said he's been mourning Chick Corea.
No, I know, but that's still not something.
Okay.
No, that's cool.
You know,
It looks like you've been lifting weights. What's up with that? Tell me about them. Tell me about your weights.
I work out. I always work out. I like to be strong so I can crush the patriarchy.
Oh yeah. That makes sense.
Yeah, that's all I got.
Cool.
I got a bunch of weights. Hang out in my room, lift weights, do my laundry. It's a gym weights club. Is that the thing from Jersey Shore? That's what I do.
I've never watched.
Or not gym. It was a gym laundry club, something like that.
My Chemical Laundry.
My chemical castration.
Cool.
Right, Monty? The
That
Black
sounds pretty
Parade.
bad.
Spencer, what have you been up to?
Me? Oh. I bought a fancy synthesizer from Brit, so that was the thing I did.
What'd you
Bought a
get?
Neutron. You were there.
Oh,
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
there.
You were there.
Well, you were here.
That's true. I was there.
Yeah, that was cool.
Yeah,
I have a Neutron too. It's pretty
I know.
awesome.
It was very cool. I liked watching
It's
you
pretty
play with
fun.
it. So what I'm talking about is the Behringer Neutron, which is the fancy synth I bought. And I first experienced it watching Monty play around with it at his house when I went over to his house the other day because I let Monty, or not let Monty, I asked Monty to play his guitar through my pedal that I made, see what it sounded like. So that was super cool.
That was a fun day. We should play our Neutrons together.
Oh, that'd be cool. Yeah, can we run them through amps though? Like, and it'd be loud and cool. Yeah. I want to run it through a bass amp.
Britt, you should get a Neutron too, and then
I
we
just
can
bought Brit.
I just sold my Neutron and my Model D because I'm like, nah, I'm good. Like this was fun for like the 3 times I set it up, but I'm like, this is like honestly like way too much work, and the fucking the mod synth modeling on Reason is incredible. So I'm like, whatever. I'll just fuck around with that.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, dude. I like that aspect of Reason. It's interesting.
Reason's super.
DAW.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Monty, what's your DAW? What's your DAW? Talk about it.
I use Logic mostly, but out of pure boredom, I've been learning Ableton. I'm also pretty. I can use Reaper pretty proficiently.
I remember you using Reaper back in the day.
Yeah. But honestly, now I've been trying to. I kind of hate the phrase, but I've been going DAW-less. I've been like using samplers and just plugging stuff straight into amp, so I'm like not making so much music on my computer.
That's nice.
I could still,
Hell yeah.
So, but yeah, I've been having fun with Ableton just from like the perspective of like forcing my brain to like learn how it works. Warwick Davis, what are your thoughts?
That's not the dude from Bad Santa. Little good.
Warwick Davis?
Dude,
Yeah.
Bad Santa.
What was he?
Not Warwick Davis.
Warwick Davis. Yeah, he played Willow. He was also the main Ewok in Star Wars.
Wicket.
Yeah, Wicket. There you go. And also, he also starred in the Ewok special as well.
Yeah, he's also in all 15 Leprechaun movies.
Yes, that's correct. He certainly is.
Fuck.
Have you all seen the newest Leprechaun Resurrection from 2018?
I don't think
It's
I've ever even
so
seen a whole Leprechaun
good.
movie.
It's so good.
You gotta see Leprechaun in the Hood.
I've never
Spencer.
seen a whole Leprechaun.
No. You got to see Leprechaun Back to the Hood. Like Leprechaun.
They did a sequel to
And
that?
it's amazing. And the VHS tape is worth like $100, and I have it, and I'm gonna sell that bitch.
What?
Mm-hmm.
Isn't there a Leprechaun in Space
That's
too?
number 4. It's wonderfully bad.
Yeah.
I mean, the first one is like an okay horror movie. 2 and 3 suck. I wouldn't watch them. 4 is kind of fun just because it's like the original. Oh, what do we do now? Fucking put them in space. Fucking horror movie.
Yeah.
And then the Hood and Back to the Hood are really next level dumb. In the first one, he smokes weed with iced tea, and that's
I love
amazing.
that.
Yeah.
That's the scene where he goes, a friend with weed is a friend indeed. And it's
What a bad motherfucker.
it's
I
really
love
good.
that.
Really good.
Can you guys let me know when you want to do the Leprechaun podcast?
Tell me about it.
Always.
What do we do?
It's called a Lepercast, by the way.
That's gotta exist.
Lepercast.
That has to exist.
Lepercast.
It's also about the biblical plague
Yeah.
of lepers.
Catch this one. Lepercast Back to the Pod. Right?
Holy
Ooh.
shit.
Right?
Yeah. Wow. I mean,
I'm almost done watering my crops.
Oh,
by
he's
the way,
fine.
guys.
Stardew
glad you
Valley.
caught up with it.
So I've never played Stardew Valley because I sunk so much time into Harvest Moon when I was a kid that I know it's a slippery slope. And so that's actually a big reason I never played WoW, is because it's the slippery slope argument, because I know exactly how much time I fucking sunk into the immersive worlds of Oblivion and Skyrim. And then also like Diablo 2,
Yeah.
like between those 3 games, I've spent at least 1,000 hours, maybe 1,500 hours. Oblivion alone, actually, I clocked over 500 hours.
Some
So
rookie numbers, bro.
I know, and like, I hear about other people, and like, our former bandmate Chris Hansen, who has played Dota 2 for literally a year worth of time, literally a year.
Uh-huh.
How's Chris? You guys talk to him?
A little bit. I've talked to him a little bit. He lives in
Is he still in the Seattle
I
area?
think he lives in Oklahoma.
It's just okay.
Well,
He bought a house in
Okay.
Oklahoma.
More like Smokelahoma.
oh yeah, that's the thing.
Blah, 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 blah.
Hi Chris, if you're listening.
Yeah.
He's probably not listening.
No one in Oklahoma
He's too
listens to
busy
us,
playing
so-
playing fucking Dota 2, dude. Like Homeboy's got like 7,500 hours or something. 7,800 hours.
Mhm.
Crazy, dude.
Literally,
Crazy.
So
I'm in Central Market
I-
once. That was the last time
I
I,
think-
ever saw
I
him.
think
That
I
was
did
like
the
5 years
math
ago.
behind it, and literally, so since Dota 2 has come out, he has spent 1/7 of his waking hours playing that game.
Why did you figure that out?
I like to do the math. I do the monster math.
Yeah, that's
The monster
true.
math.
Yeah.
I mean, like,
There exists the possibility that maybe he just like had a computer that was always running it
but at the
for
same
like
time,
multiple years, like that.
at the same time, you
I mean,
see
doesn't
his
it
Team
log
Fortress
AFK
2
time as well?
I don't know, because you've seen his like Team Fortress 2 numbers as well, and those are motherfucking insane. So I think he has the capability for it. Well, I don't know.
Yeah,
No.
I think that too.
Okay.
What are
So-
you obsessed with right now, Monty? Is it Stardew Valley? Is that
What
your
am I obsessed
obsession?
with? Yeah, it's not really that interesting. I'm really obsessed with mushrooms. I'm getting ready for the morel season.
Oh, actual mushrooms,
So I'm-
not psychedelic mushrooms.
Yeah. Well, sometimes.
Yeah,
Yeah, sometimes the
they're
psychedelic mushrooms.
fantastic. So morels are your shit. So chanterelles are my
Yeah, just
personal
'cause-
favorite.
Well,
Oh.
chanterelles is a fall.
yeah,
That's a
yes, it
fall
is.
one. So during
Right,
the fall, I love it. But morels are spring, so
So
we're getting ready. I'm almost finished with this
Nice.
book,
mitology,
lichen and fungus.
So give us the breakdown, Monty. Give me your top 3 favorite shrooms, not non psychedelic,
my
culinarily.
Top 3 favorite rooms. I like the
Right.
bathroom. Wait, did you say? Oh, you said shrooms.
Don't forget the Shrooms starring Tommy Wiseau.
Yeah, I mean, chanterelles are classics. I really like
Lion's Mane is
Mane.
great. Lion's Mane is like so meaty. Like it's a great meat replacement. Love it.
I don't know if I've ever had it.
It's interesting. It's got its own texture. It's like the flavor. It's really good.
So what kind of sparked the mushroom hunting thing was I went to the ice caves, and I was like, if you've ever been there, there's like one entry bridge that you have to cross, and I just kind of like, we looked off the bridge and we saw this weird like alien basketball looking thing, and it was a giant lion's mane just going off a log.
Nice.
And we didn't really know what it was, but we cut it up and took it with us. And then once we realized it's like a choice edible, it kind of just like awoke that like national treasure, like Nicolas Cage, like excitement. Like you're about to discover something like really big that's, you know, probably hidden behind Mount Rushmore.
It's awesome.
Yeah. So I love mushrooms.
That's so dope.
Killer.
I've never been able to go mushroom hunting, but I would love to.
I'm sorry.
Spence, let's go mushroom
hunting. Top one. Give us the other two.
Lobster mushrooms, which is actually it's a parasite that parasitizes a variety of different mushrooms. But those are really good. And then chanterelles, I mean, that's a classic for a reason. They're so good, and you can do basically anything you want with them. I've never found a bolete myself, but like giant porcini, like those are incredible. As well, and you can eat them raw, like right out of the ground, which is one of the few like non-commercially harvested mushrooms that you could just like pluck out of the ground and just pop in your mouth. I would still recommend cooking it though.
Tell us about raw mushrooms, bro. How many raw boys you eat?
You shouldn't. Okay, mushrooms are they are decomposers, and they become a lot of what they eat, and so you really do not want to eat too many raw mushrooms. There are some like witch's butter. It looks like little orange gelatin that grows on logs. You can eat that just fine, but they're not very flavorful. They're kind of like snotty. So outside of just doing it, like some people do it, some people mix it in with trail mix.
That's interesting.
And I don't particularly find any value in that myself. I think it's really a really interesting organism that exists, but I like mushrooms that you can eat. I like mushrooms that you don't eat. I mean, slime molds are like some of like the most fascinating things that exist. Slime molds can navigate the quickest route out of a complex maze faster than like an 8-year-old child can, which is pretty interesting. Slime molds and different funguses have learned how to use radiation, like intense radiation, like from Fukushima and from Chernobyl, instead of photosynthesizing. After we bombed Japan in World War II, the first signs of living life were actually matsutake mushrooms. So they're extremely adaptable and pretty amazing. Over 50%. This is going to turn into a mushroom
I'm
podcast.
so fascinated right now. Monty, just go off.
Fucking
like this is dope. Tell us about mushrooms.
Over 50. Yeah, over 50% of the biomass in Washington's old growth forests is mycelium, which basically means that there are more mushrooms than trees in Washington State.
That's dope.
Which is crazy. Yeah.
Like where does the mycelium exist? Like underground, presumably
in the soil.
Okay.
Big underground networks. Like one of the biggest living organisms ever was just a vast array of mushrooms.
Yeah, it's a honey mushroom, like mycelial web that is actually in like central Oregon. It takes up like several hundred acres, and it's actually like 3,000 years old. Cool. It's wild.
That's
So I mean, there's
that's how we're gonna get Omicron.
Yeah.
Or is it Unicron?
Mushrooms are crazy.
Win against mushrooms, man. Like they're Undefeatable.
I'm sorry, it's Unicron. Omicron was the name of the band we were in that did a song about Unicron.
Right.
I think.
That's
That is
true.
correct.
Yeah, okay.
So we
Thanks for
we
fact
listened to 3
checking
Buckethead
yourself.
albums.
No, we fucking didn't, Spencer. Why must
Yeah,
you do this to
I know.
me?
I know. It's okay.
What?
Britt,
Yeah.
would you be kind enough? Would you be gentle enough to lay upon us a bucket fact, please?
I think I might be able to do that. Bucket fact, 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 bucket fact. Way back when Buckethead was still on tour with Primus in late 1999, Buckethead's website held an online auction selling unique collector pieces. They are all one of a kind, making them the rarest of all Buckethead merchandise or collectibles. None of them has ever resurfaced after being initially sold. The items included a Buckethead Land spoon, a collection of 4 miniature figures, a black and gray canvas wallet, presumably owned by Buckethead, but who knows, and a framed Buckethead haunted farm poster. Those were what sold. What didn't sell were 2 life-size animatronics of Buckethead and one of like a pig's head, priced at $8,420 and $5,500 respectively.
A deal, you're saying?
Total deal. And the other thing that didn't sell was a 16mm original film titled Buckethead Land Chamber of Horrors. Now, it's generally thought that the Buckethead animatronic was probably a joke and just like a picture of Buckethead. Not much is known about the pig's head, and Chamber of Horrors is not known to even be a real film. It's never sold and it's never surfaced anywhere, so we may never know what Buckethead Land Chamber of Horrors, the movie, is.
Wow, that's heavy, dude. That's a heavy thing to lay on me.
Yeah, yeah.
So what you're saying is these are basically precursors to NFTs.
You may
Wow.
be, because, yeah.
To make things so
Yeah.
relevant.
So
today.
relevant.
Yeah.
So we listened to 3 Pikes.
Yeah, we did.
Pike 76, Pike 77, and Pike 78. Caterpillar, Bumbyride Dreamlands, and Pike 78, respectively.
That is true. We did do that.
Pike 76, Caterpillar, released on September 9th, 2014. What'd y'all think?
So this is kind of the first intentional listening I've done to Buckethead on album. I've seen a lot of his videos. I know a lot about his antics, but for some reason I kind of just missed the Buckethead train. So this being my first involved listen.
I'm sorry it was these albums. I feel like I wish you had come in on some better ones.
So this is what I was going
these
to
aren't
ask
bad.
earlier. I was like, is this? So this kind of read to me as like a. Am I allowed to be like how honest
say
am I?
whatever you want.
Dude, tell us.
Straight up.
Okay,
Tell us.
this read to me as like really generic hard rock backing tracks.
Yeah.
All right.
I caught like it was I don't want to not quite AC/DC vibes, but that same it was just like.
So,
like-
no, the last song, Skizzy's Hot Rod, sounded exactly like an AC/DC song. Like, the other stuff, like, definitely had, like, a very, like, 80s kind of hard rock feel, but it was a lot more, I think, kind of, like, southern flavored, like Molly Hatchet, or maybe, like, to compare it to
Yeah.
something more modern, like Nashville Pussy. Like, you know, yeah, wasn't a huge fan of this album. What do you think, Spencer?
Yeah, I mean, it's we got some melodic guitar riffing.
Mm-hmm.
It's not my favorite. I didn't like hate it or anything, but it was not like, I don't know. I'm on record of not being into blues rock,
Mhm.
and this is very, very blues rock, and
Yeah.
I'm not a huge blues rock guy. And there's also like no solos, which have like I think would have made
Yeah.
this better,
Right.
Like if he was like did some nice shredding, but
Yeah, and like he did have some okay riffs here and there, but a lot of it was just like a lot of like staccato power chords and like breaks and shit. Like there was a
Yeah.
lot of that, and then everything that wasn't that basically was like blues scale riffs that just sounded like southern hard metal. It was-
Does he record all the instruments himself?
So
we're
does he
not
do the drums
totally
and bass
sure.
as well?
yeah, he the producer of these albums is listed as Dan Monte, who is a guy he's worked with.
Good name.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think so too.
Dan Monte Mcleery. So he's worked with him since like the early 2000s. And they've done all these Pikes together. So we don't really know what Dan Monte does on them because he plays bass and he's like a producer, and apparently he also like plays drums and guitar. He's actually the lead guitarist in Serge Takion's solo band.
What?
Oh, interesting.
Which I
Oh,
found
I
out
didn't
the
know
other
that.
day.
That's
Yeah,
interesting.
which is interesting. Yeah. So who knows? Dan Monte might also be playing some of these guitar parts.
I think from like it's impressive in a way that he is able to stay so focused on, let's call it, the theme. But I listened to the album a couple times all the way through, but then I also gave it a quick like, what's the word? I kind of just like breezed through it, where I just clicked through a bunch of different parts. I noticed it's all in the same key. It's all the exact same tempo. I mean, it's basically can be looked at as like one half-hour song.
Yeah, and that's a lot of these Pikes are very thematically tied together, and it does sound like they basically took like a big track on a DAW and then just cut it up in certain sections to make, different songs out of it. And this one definitely feels a lot more like that than a lot of the other Pikes, because a lot of the other Pikes are very varied and actually have like a cool, interesting flow to them.
I would agree. And there's usually like, I don't know. I wouldn't say that there's nothing to like here. I mean, like, there's some riffs here and there. The first song I thought was okay. First song is like better, I feel like, than some of the ones that follow. But
Yeah.
maybe it's just because it's less bluesy.
I actually did kind of like the last song, even though it sounded exactly like an AC/DC song. Skizzy's Hot Rod, and I actually want to put a quick one in here. So Skizzy's Hot Rod is a reference to a February 5th, 1974 episode of Happy Days, wherein Fonzie drives Ralph Malph's newly souped-up ride in a midnight drag race against the local badass Skinny Skollick.
Sorry.
So could this be said?
Sorry?
Could this be said as that it's a Happy Days concept album?
Definitely not, because, I mean, there's other stuff in here, like a track listing goes track 1, Reap Print, 2, Fountain, 3, Hot Wheels, 4, Caterpillar, 5, Mr. Toad's Wait Time, which is obviously a reference to Mr. Toad's Wild Ride, the iconic dark ride at Disney World that was first...
There is a Happy Days episode
there?
about that.
No, there's not. So,
Yeah.
Wow.
So
I was so intrigued for a second. I was like,
yeah. And then I'm like,
No.
Monty doesn't know shit about fucking Happy Days.
Damn.
Um,
Damn. All right.
So Mr. Toad's Wait Time,
You're right.
definitely a
I do
reference
not.
to
Me either.
the ride,
I believed you.
the original Disneyland ride that was revamped in 1987 at Disneyland.
Cool.
And I don't know, that was the shortest song on the album, so I'm guessing that Mr. Toad's Wild Ride actually doesn't have a very long wait time.
Well, he probably had the jump pass.
Oh yeah,
you can get.
So
yeah, he's definitely a jump pass guy.
oh, 100%. But did they have the jump pass in 2014? Was that a thing then?
Well, I mean, I think that being Buckethead, they probably let him do whatever he wants.
So.
You think so? You think Disney is like cool with Buckethead? Like that would be rad.
I mean, he's played at a couple venues on their property before, so they're cool with him in ways for sure.
Did he do that in 2014?
Maybe, I'm not sure. Couldn't tell you.
I think we're getting closer to.
So he actually signed his contract with Axl Rose for Guns N' Roses at Disneyland.
Is that true?
That's a real ass bucket fact.
Was that a bucket fact?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah,
that was actually one of the first bucket facts we ever had on the show.
Yeah, it's a callback at this point.
Mm-hmm, definitely. Back to Elden times.
Okay, bucket lore. Mm-hmm. I got it.
Indeed. So after so if you might have noticed that all of these albums, all of these Pikes, at the top of them say Buckethead Land. And what that is all about is it's presumed that all of these Pikes are in ways soundtracks to rides at Buckethead Land, this theme park that Buckethead has created in his head. And so after each album, we like to kind of finish it up with what would this be a good soundtrack to in a theme park?
If there's ever like a guy that has to announce things over the speakerphone system, like there's like an intro music and like an outro music for that dude to like say something, like that maybe could fit.
Okay. Oh, so like, attention park guests.
Yeah,
we
exactly.
will be closing early today, because of Ash Wednesday. You all have a blessed day. That kind of thing.
Yeah.
I was thinking it could be something like a farm animal go-kart racing.
Oh my goodness! Yeah. Okay. Like
go-karts that are themed and modeled after different farm animals, and so it'd be kind of like a track similar to the farm track from Mario Kart 64.
Okay, I see that.
I can see that.
Yeah. Little rodeo vibe there.
Rope.
We know.
I think this would be a great soundtrack to a dark ride based on the final room of Mr. Toad's Wild Ride, which is a depiction of hell on a children's ride at Disney World, Disneyland. I
think being cursed to only being able to play mediocre blues rock riffs is a certain kind of hell that we've all had nightmares about.
I lie awake thinking about it.
Yeah, I have had nightmares. Like, I wake up in a cold sweat and I'm like, oh my God, I'm not in a blues band. Oh my God, thank God. Oh, thank God.
Yeah.
Like I think musical purgatory is having to play an instrument you're not very good at in an all-white blues rock band.
I've had that dream before, like legitimately.
I think the worst dream is like worship music. Like that seems like the worst.
No, because you could have fun with that. Like you could overplay worship music, and it's
you
funny
can't,
at that
though.
point.
They get mad at you. They don't want you to overplay.
That's the thing. It's like you could, and it's fun because, like, I mean, do you remember?
You could wear nothing but a very see-through robe.
So it's story time. For like a good year, our old drummer, me and Spenser, in a thrash band, a death metal thrash band we played in, Justin, was a very, very good drummer.
Extremely good drummer.
He guested at it with my dad's worship band at his church for like a year or more. And he was there, maybe like once a month or so, but he'd just come whenever he was asked. And Justin doesn't play softly in any way.
No, he does not.
He's one of the loudest drummers you'll ever hear, and he just like I mean, he went as soft as he could with the worship band, but it was still louder than everything else. He fucking jammed that shit, and it was funny as fuck. Like,
I bet it was so good.
I think
though.
Sorry?
I bet it was so good though.
It was, I mean, it was still fucking worship music, so it's like
Dude,
worship
that's-
music, but the whole time I'm like, God, he's fucking playing this shit. Like,
He's playing the shit, dude. Yeah.
How many cymbal chokes were there?
not many, but he like brought his whole cymbal set with him, and so he had like the two China set up and like the
No, wait, really? He
he,
played a big kit?
he played a pretty big kit. Like he used their kit, but no, he used their kit, but he brought his cymbals. And so he had fucking cymbals with his fucking church band ass like 5-piece kit. And it was funny. It was very funny. And I think he brought his own snare too, but you know Justin.
Have you gotten Justin on the show?
No, we should though.
Yeah, we should. I think that'd be funny. I don't think he'd listen to a Buckethead album though, to be honest.
No, I think you would to be on the show. Yeah,
Maybe,
I think
maybe. So Pike 77, Bumbyride Dreamlands, released on September 4th, 2014, oddly 5 days before the previous Pike, Caterpillar. What did you all think
We're going
of this?
back in time, Monty. Back in time.
Yeah. So
Wait, so
this was
what?
so we're talking about Bumbyride Dreamlands now, the next Pike.
Okay.
Yeah.
So let me be clear. You guys are listening to this in alphanumeric order, not chronological order.
Correct. So
Interesting.
well, the way the Pikes are actually assembled, and the way that Buckethead assembles them, because you'll see like on a lot of Pikes, and most Pikes in the corner they have the number of the Pike, and so that's how they're arranged, and it's literally arranged by the date he announces them.
Got
Yeah.
it.
Correct.
And then he just releases them whenever. Sometimes he'll release like several Pikes before or after another Pike comes out. It's kind of all over the place.
This is true.
Yeah, this was definitely my favorite of the
Yeah.
three.
Yeah, I like this one better.
albums.
Definitely.
So this was like
There are some sick riffs.
it's a pretty cool Megadeth instrumental album, I gotta say. It is like
Dude, yeah. It is
straight up like so many.
There's some 90s Primus vibes,
Yeah,
though.
at times. I mean, and there's always going to be Primus vibes because like that's how Buckethead kind of like became big is like playing on a tour with Primus. And that's how like he got on.
Bucket Fact?
Yeah, I guess whatever. That's how he got on Guns N' Roses map. So yeah, like there's a lot of fucking Megadeth ass riffs in here.
Yeah.
Like, a lot of it sounds straight up just like the guitar work. Yeah, hell yeah. Megadeth feel 100%. So Megadeth.
Yeah.
Like
I love
it
that.
just sounds like Rust in Peace, a lot of it, and it's dope. Like there's at least 3 riffs that sound exactly like the main riff to Holy Wars, the Punishment Due, the dun 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 dun, like that shit.
That is true.
Like that super shreddy shit. It was pretty cool. I didn't hate this album, but it was definitely very Megadethy, and I could not avoid that. And not Megadethy in my preferred way, like hello me, it's me again.
Yeah. Lots of alternate picking, lots of syncopated kick riffs.
Yep. A lot of breaks.
And so many hammer-ons.
Yeah.
It's all hammer-ons. Like, I thought this was pretty cool. Really, my
No solos again.
That's true.
no solos. That's my
Like,
big
if it
thing.
had solos, I really think this would have been like
Then it
more
would have.
rad. But it was still
Yeah.
cool.
If he did some Marty Friedman ass solos, this would have been one of my favorite Megadeth
Friedman
albums.
ass.
The Buckethead Wah would have been so at home on this one.
It would have
Yeah, that
actually.
is true.
Yeah.
He doesn't wah out that often. Like, to be honest, like
It
he
depends.
uses some wah, but like not that often. Not as often as I expected.
He uses the whammy pedal way more than he uses the wah.
Hmm.
Mhm.
Yeah. But he,
I don't know. I don't know if he uses a whammy. I guess he probably does.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
I'm talking the whammy pedal.
Yeah.
That's like his most used pedal.
Interesting.
Yeah.
A Digitech whammy. He has 3 of them even before the tuner.
Nice.
Bucket fact.
I don't think he actually does. But
dropping your own bucket fact from the streets.
But on Buckethead forums, it's talked about a lot. Like that
we got
is
gorilla bucket facts being dropped, dog.
fucking gorilla
We're here
bucket.
for it.
I like that idea.
Yeah, it was better.
No, this is a pretty cool album. Lots of like 30-second note shredding riffs, but not like 30-second notes on solos, which was weird. There's only a couple clean parts, but they all work. Groovy parts. Yeah, it's a good Megadeth album. I'll say that.
I agree. I took so many notes on this one, but yeah, basically, I agree. This was my favorite of the 3.
Absolutely. What other observations do you have in there, Monty?
I mean, I noticed that the song structure themselves were basically identical.
Yeah, they
like
really
the way
were.
that they're put together. Not so much the riffs themselves, but just like how it wasn't really until the 4th song in, which is oh man, I can barely read my own handwriting. I think it's called Hub and yeah. That he changes it up a little bit with that clean intro.
Right. And then he.
But then the rest of the song basically still follows the same formula as the rest of the record.
I mean, it goes back to the clean part again, like in the middle of the song. It's a lot more dynamic than any other songs on this album. And I guess that's the only like real criticism I have for this album is there are not many dynamics. Like it is pretty much balls to the wall thrash riffage for the entire album with a few breaks.
Yeah, I mean, if there were solos and vocals, I would say the dynamics would be totally unnecessary. But being that we're just bare bones here, that's the only reason why it seems more.
I'd say it's I'm gonna amend that, much more speed metal than thrash. This is much more in like the speed metal era of Megadeth and their thrash stuff.
So,
Spencer, do you have any other notes on that?
not really. Like what y'all said is how I feel. I feel that. No, I feel that very much. Like, it felt very like there was some stuff in there that reminded me a little bit of like the thrashier power metal stuff, maybe like early Blind Guardian.
Okay,
Like,
yeah.
You ever listen to that stuff? That stuff's like super like I'm thinking like if it had vocals, like it would sound something like that maybe. But yeah, like Monty said, because we're bare bones in it here, it's like the dynamics are the only drawback. But yeah, still fun to hear thrash riffs. Like I'm a sucker for thrash riffs. I understand the desire to just write a lot of thrash riffs just forever. Like I feel that in my bones too. So to like see that from Buckethead, to hear that from him is nice. I feel that.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
For the people,
Bonded
Buckethead.
by blood, sweat, pants.
That's what the people want.
For me, this is just a great soundtrack for Megadeth Roller Coaster. That's all I got.
Megadeth. I love the idea of like a Megadeth themed ride that doesn't have music by Megadeth. And like the picture of like Dave looks weird. Like he has like a mustache or something and it just like looks all like kind of not like him.
that would be amazing.
And it's spelled Megadeath. Megadeth.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm taken. Taken with that idea.
Pike 78, titled Pike 78, released on September 23rd, 2014, 19 days after Bumpyride Dreamlands, and 14 days, 2 weeks after Pike 76 Caterpillar. So this one was
forward in time.
This one was a real.
This is where all the solos.
Yeah, this is where they hit all the solos, but for some reason he's like, it's like he listened to a whole bunch of Pink Floyd and he's like, I want to do what David Gilmour does, just not as well.
Oh
yeah,
and that's what the entire 4 tracks of this album are. straight up.
I guess.
Right. The other two albums are like all the rhythm guitars and like no leads or melodies, and this is like all the leads and melodies with like no riffs or rhythm guitars at
Just
all.
a lot of like, slowly strummed chords or slowly picked chords. It's
It's the same guitar tone I noticed through all three of these records. It's the same exact guitar
He
tone.
does have a very consistent chain. Like, yeah.
But I didn't dislike any of the three like for what they are, but I found this one to be a lot more listenable just because it is more atmospheric, but only as like a background track.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
What do you think, Spenser?
Like, I think that in some cases, Buckethead really does write some amazing background music. Like this, I find in some cases with some of these Pikes, I enjoy them more if I'm like kind of doing something else while I'm listening to it.
Like jerking off?
I mean?
Is he the Brian Eno of Shred?
That's a great question, actually.
That's actually,
we've never even.
Wow, that's heavy.
Yeah, I think he's more like a Steve Roach, but sure.
Whoa.
All
right. Yeah.
So I still think that this didn't have all that many dynamics, but I did notice that he was straying from kind of the same like picking technique that on the last two records, like he kind of stuck to one thing on each record. This one had a lot of different stuff where he was like playing harmonics, he was doing volume swells, so there was difference in the actual technique that he was using, although it's still all the same guitar tone, all the same tempo, all the same key.
Right. And so actually that's a big reason I compared it to David Gilmour, is because like he did use like a lot of the effects very well, and like what this isn't bad, but it's just like a budget David Gilmour, to be honest.
Right.
Like this sounds like the whole album sounded like the solo section for Pink Floyd. Which is fine because Pink Floyd solos fucking rule, but one of the reasons they rule is like, David Gilmour doesn't overdo it. David Gilmour never plays a solo longer than it needs to be. Whereas
sometimes they're like 12 minutes.
Exactly. Solos, but David Gilmour gets it, whereas I think Buckethead sometimes don't.
Well,
speaking of long solos, do you guys remember when we played that show and we didn't know when to end the rhythm part and Spenser soloed for like 6.5 minutes?
It was not that long. Was that the show?
It was so long.
Was that the show at Studio 7?
Probably.
Yeah, it was with like Power Glove and Arceus.
We did play for a long time, and I just like, I had a delay pedal.
That was technically one of the best shows I've ever played. Like I played every note so well that show. That made me happy.
I have a folder of photos of you and I from that show. Britt,
I remember I was wearing
I keep wanting to send to you
a velvet jacket the whole time, which was an
yes,
interesting, sweaty
I was wearing
choice.
Like khaki church pants. Yeah.
Sick.
Oh, that's great. I was probably wearing like girl pants.
We all had long hair then.
We did.
Yeah.
All of us.
Wow, that's awesome.
No, it's not.
It's cool. We were cool. And then like the Power Glove guys were so nice to us. They were like, "Oh, you guys were so good." And I was like, "You can't mean that. Like, you can't." We were okay.
We
we're okay.
All right, sorry, I didn't mean to derail that.
No, tell me, Monty.
Good
we were
memories.
good. No, we were great. It was fun. That was good times.
Yep.
Yeah.
My internet is unstable.
I am the stable. I am the stable. I am the stable. I am the stable.
I am the stable.
I think we had a really good toolbox. I think we had a really good set of tools. We just had no idea what we were doing with them at the time.
Yeah.
I think that if we rejoined, we could make them. I don't know.
Are we getting the band back together? I'll call Andrew, aka Moonworm.
Yeah,
it's time for our yearly reunion photo.
All right. Okay, but this time Yeah. Okay. Well, how about this? We get the band back together, but this time the only time we can have band meetings is in the form of this podcast.
I'm actually totally cool with this.
We could still probably practice in Andrew's mom's garage, to be honest.
Does Andrew live with his mom? No, he doesn't. He lives somewhere else.
No, yeah, he lives in Georgetown.
I already practice in Andrew's mom's garage, if you know what I mean.
Ooh, I do know what you mean. Okay, so back to 78.
Oh, yeah. Hey, there was some stuff there. Some of it was emotive. In a way, you know.
Honestly,
I appreciate the techniques.
I do wonder why he this is one of the only untitled Pikes that has remained untitled, along with, I believe, Pike 13, and that's it.
And Pike 43.
Oh, yeah, you are right. And I wonder why. I mean, there's no explanation here.
Does he retroactively title them?
Some of them, yeah. Which is why I put that disclaimer. That
Pike 13 is one of the more well-regarded ones,
it's
right?
one of my favorites.
That's the one with the...
Yeah, it's actually very great atmospheric music. Like, it's really good.
And is that's the one that has the photo of him and his dad?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, correct. You've done more research than I thought.
I looked up a little bit, like I didn't want to come totally unprepared, okay. But I was like, who is Mr. Head?
Yeah,
BH, as the internet commenters talk about him.
I've never actually done the BH, and I talk, I'm on several forums about Buckethead and stuff, and I pretty much refer to him as Buckethead or Bucket. I do see a lot of BH though. Not my favorite thing.
BH, Big B.
I do see the Big B every now and again. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, as far as a chunk of 3 records go, how as me, a layperson talking to 2 experts, how does this average against other chunks of 3?
It's about average, I'd say. It's there's nothing here that stands out, and there is one I think kind of album. Actually, yeah. No, this is actually probably below average, I'd say, when it comes to like pairings of 3. Because sometimes we'll get like amazing shit together.
Yeah, like sometimes we'll get stuff that's like pretty good, like all 3.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes we'll get one where like 2 are really good and 1 is But
yeah,
this is like average or like a little bit below average, I think.
Right. And I think the thing that makes this a little bit below average is there wasn't a great Pike in here. And
there wasn't a great guitar solo also, which
that's true.
I'll be honest, like Buckethead, Buckethead like has some strengths and he has some stuff he could work on maybe. But like he is really good at composing music. He's really good at like putting songs together. He can do that. He's also like he can really nail a solo in a way that can make you feel something. Like he really can, and he can do it a lot too.
Right.
I've listened to a lot of it, and for sure. Like, and it's always good to hear that. Like, I would have liked to hear that in this group, but that's okay. I'm
and
sure
honestly,
we'll get
like
more of that.
If if Bumbyride Dreamlands had sick fucking shred solos, honestly, like this, it would have elevated all 3 of these albums together. Like,
I agree.
Like if he
then we would want a reprieve after that, and we would appreciate the calmness of Pike 78 after.
Exactly.
That,
yeah, and that's what I feel, because like.
But I mean, that exposes the drawback and the limit of our approach here, right? Because like clearly, this is not Buckethead did not release these in groups of 3. Like that's not how it was intended to be interpreted, right? It's just the limits of the format that we chose,
right? But at the same time,
it's interesting how like imposing restrictions on yourself in something like that can bring with it a different like perspective based on the approach.
Exactly, because like I mean, but it also really kind of helps inform us too. Because if we just did them one at a time, it would be a lot more difficult to reference them against each other.
Oh, 100%.
Whereas doing them in groups of 3, we can like kind of take a chunk and be like, well, this was like this, but not like this. And we kind of get a greater sense of like what he was thinking at that time, especially since he releases them out of order so much. Taking them in chunks of 3 gives us a good, sometimes 1 month view into Buckethead's musical output, but sometimes, 2-3 months. And so, yeah.
Interesting. Yeah.
Fascinating. I don't want to derail this too much, but I have more questions.
Keep at him. Hit him up.
What you got?
Okay, so I hope this isn't stuff that you've rehashed on like previous episodes.
That's totally fine.
So does this format? And I'm not answering my own question by asking this, but like, is this format? Is this art? Is this like is Buckethead producing so much material all at once? Like, is this like, could this really be considered art, or is this more like athleticism?
So let me answer that with my views on Buckethead. Buckethead is absolutely an artist.
Sure.
At the same time, he is also very much a technician. And especially when he works with Dan Monte, like, I feel like they get into the techniques of things, and sometimes things can feel a lot more technical than like emotive, and artistic. And so I think the Pikes, especially, with their prolifercy, I don't know, is that a word? I don't care. Like with the prolific output, of the Pikes, it is somewhere in between. I mean, it's definitely art, and if you just took any of them, at face value, you'd be like, yeah, that was a music album, that's art, whatever. But there's definitely a very strong technical aspect to being able to do this and just pump out this much fucking music.
Right.
And so I see him,
and also I respect the fact that he's not releasing these and like trying to market them as like soundtracks to other shit. He's not like trying to do that with it. He just released them as albums. Like, I think that demonstrates his like artistic nature more than anything else. And I think it's like an amazing, like, it's just, it's kind of amazing. It's amazing to like that this dude just makes all these albums. And I think it's weird and cool. And like, I want to know why. And that's why I like listening to them.
Do you, I think Buckethead's kind of view on things and view on the world is something I've heard from so many, like, especially musicians, about like selling out. Like, they talk about like, oh, well, I mean, this person's making pop music right now, but they could just like make a bunch of money and quit and do what they want to do. And people say that about like Lady Gaga, because Lady Gaga, if you hear her play like non-pop music, you're like, she's fucking incredible. But a lot of pop people are like, oh, she's just, tied to record contracts. After she's done with that, after she gets her fucking bag, she's, probably gonna do just like fucking jazz albums like the one she did with Tony Bennett forever. And that'd be dope as fuck. But I don't think that's gonna happen. I think that is what Buckethead actually did. Like, he found a fucking paycheck with Guns N' Roses and a way to make his name international. And then once he realized he had secured that reputation and he didn't have to work anymore to put out all the art that he wanted to do, he did it. So in that way, I think Buckethead is one of the realest motherfuckers and one of the realest artists out there.
Yeah.
I wholeheartedly agree with that, Britt.
Yeah, it's cool. Like, it's a really, like, I feel like it's a really like ostentatious thing to like release like 300 albums, especially because like before he did that, like, he was a known guy. Like, people knew who he was. I remember reading about him in Guitar World magazine when I was a kid. Like, people knew who he was. Like, he was a guy, and he was well known for playing the guitar real fast. And then like he just like got older and kind of weirder, and then made a bunch of albums. And it's crazy that he did that, and I like knowing that he did that, and I like listening to them as a result.
I think, like, for me personally, I know this is probably pretentious as fuck, but I feel like I'm in a safe space that like art is simply, and this is as close as I can figure out, is just like honest self-expression. And so and maybe like I debate on whether or not it has to be intentional, or if it can be accidental. But I think that like maybe even though like 76, may not have the most profound effect on the art world. I think that his I think the scope of what he's actually doing overall, despite the individual pieces, I think it is definitely art. I think this is definitely an honest, and in this case at least intentional, like form of self-expression that we're getting from Buckethead.
And I'll try to end it with this. I think more than anything, the Pike series is greater than the sum of its components. Like, I mean, there's some good Pikes, there's some bad Pikes, but the fact that there are almost 300 fucking Pikes is fucking, I mean, goddamn impressive.
Yeah.
Truly. Anyways, we're getting to another part of the show.
Wait, what do you mean? We don't have any more parts of the show.
What's that?
I mean,
Statements from the Bucket Boy.
All right, Monty, this is Statements from the Bucket Void. This is a part in the show where we shine a light. We shine a beacon, down into the trenches, the pits, the places where the...
Actually, more we dig through the ditches and burn with the witches.
Oh, right, exactly.
And slam in the back of the bucket verse.
Indeed.
Slam in the back of the bucket void. Yeah.
Yeah. Basically, we look at some YouTube comments on Buckethead videos. So let's take a peek at them. Let's see what we got. We got some warriors out there. So user Adam Miller says, caterpillar, that's 2 words, needs all those legs to get down to this music, ellipsis. I like the idea of it.
Yeah.
Why ellipsis? Like, is there...
That's our big problem, is even between the three of us, we don't have enough legs as a caterpillar.
Right?
That's true.
We don't. And I would love to see a caterpillar actually get down. I think they could do a lot with all them legs. That would be cool. It'd be cool to see.
I mean, have you ever seen A Bug's Life?
Yeah, I have. Wait, was the guy the German guy, was that guy a caterpillar?
I believe he was. I believe he was.
I watched
yeah,
it a bunch of times
he
too.
was a caterpillar.
Yeah.
Heimlich, right?
Yeah, the fat German caterpillar, the green motherfucker.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a caterpillar.
Dude, that meme that went around a while ago of like the Heimlich fleshlight, amazing.
That's pretty good.
It's pretty great. Pretty great. It was like somebody made like a fake Craigslist post about it.
If y'all could have a fleshlight shaped like anything, what would it be?
The Taco Bell double-decker taco.
I mean, you can just have sex with one of those. That's already a fleshlight.
It's messy, dude. It's messy.
That's already a fleshlight, Spencer. Most things at Taco Bell are already fleshlight ready. Like, especially since they took off the Fiesta potatoes from the menu, dude. Like, I can fucking everything there.
Do you think if Motley Crue was like really happening right now, you think they would use Taco Bell instead of burritos?
I think they'd live Moss, yes.
For their dicks. Monty, do you know about Motley Crue's burrito dicks?
No, I don't.
Okay. So Motley Crue in the like 80s and like early 90s, when they were like really popping off, they like would be banging so many girls all the time. This is crazy. This is true. Well, at least according to them. They're banging all these girls all the time, but like they didn't want their girlfriends at the time to know that they were banging girls all the time. So like there's a story where like 2 of them, I think it's Mick Mars and Nikki Sixx or whatever, and they're like they're both banging girls in the back of a van. Like they're just in the back of a van, and they both bang these girls in the back of a van, and then they like in order to hide this from their girlfriends, they go and get breakfast burritos and stick their dicks in the breakfast burritos so they don't smell like pussy.
Did it work?
That's the question. We don't know. I have to imagine no, but it maybe was amazing. Do you think there was like a piece of potato that like got stuck in their underwear or something?
That's what I'm saying. It's like the Fiesta potatoes make it like not Fleshlight ready. Like you don't want to stick your dick in anything with hot, recently fried potatoes, especially.
But like, didn't they discontinue potatoes? Didn't they take potatoes away?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
That's what he said.
Oh,
yeah, after they took it away, everything.
Yeah,
now.
I can have sex with like anything at Taco Bell now that they don't have the Fiesta potatoes
Or the Mexican pizza.
Oh, actually,
That's what I was
I
saying.
can't. I can't do the caramel apple empanada. I don't think. I think that's way too hot to fuck. Although it's like the perfect shape. It's like a pre-made pussy. Like it's a caramel apple pussy.
Beautiful, dude.
If I had one, it would be like a deep sea marlin fishing pole.
Ooh,
Love that.
hell yeah!
Like,
All right.
we need less podcasting and more rod casting.
That's really good. I like that a lot.
So, are you going to read some more comments?
Shush! It's my segment. I know how to do it, Monty. YouTube user Jordan Vine says, "This Pike is awesome. Well, I think and I believe everything else he's done is awesome." He's yelling there.
So we've talked to Jordan Vine before on Statements from the Bucket Void. I think he's a yeller.
Yeah, he is a yeller. That's why I have to read it like this.
Yeah.
So I believe everything else he's done is awesome. Yeah, his music can get a bit weird and strange, but sometimes it's still fucking awesome.
So,
I don't think he liked this one very much.
So what do you think Jordan Vine is on? Besides the app
like
Vine.
Nothing. I just think I think he's probably like, I'm guessing like 18 or 19, and he's just like kind of weird. Like maybe he works at like a Staples or something. Like he's like that kind of a dude. Works at like a big box for like a Best Buy. Maybe.
Justin George worked at a Staples.
Who's Justin George?
Spenser knows.
We're not going to talk about Justin George.
I worked at Staples.
Yeah,
Justin George. Oh, you did. You did.
Yeah, I was blowing my paychecks on Magic Card every week.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Remember sitting around that circle table hitting a volcano?
Oh, I do.
Playing Magic.
I mostly remember doing tons of fucking knife hits up in that shit and playing Magic.
Oh yeah.
And then fucking that one fucking douchey guy just getting like way too aggro all the time. Matt Story. No, Ronnie was fine. Matt's Story is should be euthanized. That's all I got. Euthanize Matt's Story. Next.
All right. Well, anyways, user KLBack63 says all the bucket haters should listen to the Pikes, capitalized Pikes there. Appreciate that. Because they straight up capitalized rock. They straight up rock and feature some of the nastiest riffs and grooves ever recorded.
So what video was this comment on?
This was on Pike 77.
Okay. Which did have some nasty grooves and riffs.
Okay. I was gonna say, all right, yeah, that's appropriate.
Yeah. It's fine. Yeah. People get weird on the Buckethead stuff. You know, they talk about BH a lot. Talk about Buckethead as a deity, Buckethead as an alien. They project a lot onto BH. They want to believe.
Spenser, has anyone ever compared you physically to Buckethead?
Maybe you at some point. But
Spenser, we've done it on the podcast. Like,
you do have his fingers.
We've both accused each other of maybe secretly being Buckethead because your reasoning was I'm tall and really weird. And I'm like, yeah, but you can play guitar fast and you got the hair. So we could maybe if we splice our genetics together with CRISPR, we can make our own Buckethead.
Amazing.
Because guitar playing is definitely a genetic thing.
Oh, definitely. I love it. It's great.
Hell yeah.
So, Britt, you know a little bit about Buddhism, correct?
Yeah, I used to have a Buddhist tattoo before I got it covered up. I'm a non-practicing Buddhist, I'd say.
All right. So I have a comment here. I don't remember what video this is on. I think Pike 77. But I'm not sure. User, I'm gonna murder this name. I'm sorry to whoever's name this is. Binamra Bassnet says, the greatest meditator of America, the Buddha from the West. His music is like the spontaneous oration of Osho. I feel like this is some heavy stuff. Like calling Buckethead the Buddha from the West.
Yeah, and
I'm into this mythology.
I mean, I can kind of get where that's coming from because, like, you know, Buckethead is very, like, I don't know, emotionally centered in a lot of what he does, and a lot of what he does is, like, very meditative music. Like, Pike 78 was a pretty meditative album. Like, sure. I could definitely, like, do fucking hot yoga to that shit and be like, oh, that's cool.
You could get a massage to that album.
Oh, yeah. You could get a hand job at a massage parlor to that.
About $80.
A dick massage, if you will.
Plus tip, of course.
Plus, only the tip.
Potentially.
A bucket hand job.
Bucket job.
Bucket hand.
Bucket job. Hell yeah. Yeah, that's an interesting idea. I mean, in artists...
The Buddha of the West.
Yeah, I mean, like, Buddha was, like, a lot more complicated than that, just, like, being cool. Like,
I don't know, man. It sounds like Buddha was... You know what that sounds like to me is, like, Buddha was the Buckethead of his time.
Siddhartha Gautama Buckethead. That's what I'm saying.
This should be the name of the episode.
Lisa and Frank.
Oh, that is pretty good. Damn.
Yeah.
Anyways, I appreciate.
I mean that's cool.
What do you? Oh, actually, hold on a second.
Yeah.
Before I move on, do you know what the spontaneous oration of Osho or Osho? I don't know.
I have no idea what the fuck that is now.
I have no fucking idea what that is. I wanted to Google it, but I ran out of time.
So Osho is an Indian guru. Rajneesh, also known as Aryasha Rajneesh, Bhagwan Sri Rajneesh, or Bhagwan Rajneesh, Osho Rajneesh, and later as Osho. He was an Indian guru, mystic, and founder of the Rajneesh movement. During his lifetime, he was viewed as a controversial new religious movement leader and mystic. He lived from 1931 to 1990. He's an Indian mystic, basically. And oh man, actually, let's just give you gotta see this guy because this guy is balling out of control. Look at this fucking guy.
Yeah.
Look
that
at
guy sucks.
Those eyebrows.
Just those eyes, like he's looking straight, not into my soul, like into my pants. He's this man like looks in your soul and sees your bussy.
Yeah. Cool.
Hell
all right. Yeah. I still don't understand what Ben Amra means here, but cool. Sounds rad. Let's do it. Okay. We have an interesting one here. I am excited Monty is here for this one in particular, because I really want to talk about one aspect of this a lot. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
YouTube user Kenneth McNamara. It's probably McNamara. Says, The world would be fucked up without Buckethead. Could you imagine listening to John Pettruci Pikes? John Pettruci Pikes. Imagine that.
I mean,
that. Like, imagine if John Pettruci was the guy that released 300 albums, not Buckethead. That's our alternate future, right?
Well, I think we definitely would have a little bit more shred, at least on these three.
You don't know. So, like, you haven't heard what we've heard. Like, we've heard a lot of shred from Buckethead.
So, and also, let me put it this to you, Monty. You think we'd hear a lot more shred, but John Pettruci puts out, an album every, 3 or 4 years. Do you think he would shred just as hard and as much if he was putting out an album every week?
That is a very apt point. And I think scientifically it's impossible to answer. Philosophically,
we just got to get John
also
on meth.
Impossible to answer.
Find
But here's the thing. I think that Pettruci has John Belushi has too big of an ego.
It's Jim Belushi we're talking about.
Yeah.
According to Jim.
John Goodman. No, I mean, I think that Buckethead has similar to the Buddha comment previously. He is very centered. None of this feels like ego to me. None of this feels like showboating or
That's true.
Yeah, it's very understated.
Like masturbatory.
Yeah, it's like kind of understated in a way. Like,
yeah.
And I think that if we lived in a Pettruci Pike experiment, that's going to be our new band name.
Yeah, that would be great.
It would be a much darker reality that we lived in for sure.
It's called the PU, the Pettruci Extended Universe.
You. That does stink. I hate to see it. Well, let's finish the rest of his comment here. Yawn Theater. That's his comment for
Yawn Theater. Yeah. I mean,
which is a great app to take. Yawn Theater.
Although, Dream Theater already assumes that they're putting you to sleep. So,
that
right?
is true. Yeah, I never could do Dream Theater.
Mm-hmm.
I've tried, man. I've listened to a few of their albums multiple times, and I just
Me too. Oh, yeah.
the music is cool. I'm here for it, but the vocals give it a vibe that I'm like,
The vocals and just the music is I feel like it does have so much to prove. It is prog for prog's sake, and not because, hey, this is going to be really cool and new and interesting. It's how complicated can we make this and blow people's minds with how complicated we're playing music.
It's more just pop rock, but weird. That's kind of what prog became. There's there's some aesthetics that they carry over. There's some sounds, but it's mostly just weird rock.
You know what I kind of feel? I feel like if Dream Theater were good, they'd sound more like Muse, and I don't even like how Muse sounds. So
I like Muse a lot. I'm here for Muse. I'll stand Muse.
They're good at what they do.
Oh yeah.
I totally agree on the Dream Theater sentiments. I will, however, say that the keyboardist of Dream Theater is
Jordan Peterson.
Is a
right?
national treasure.
That's Jordan.
Where is
Jordan Peterson, right?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, it's actually it's National Treasure 2: Book of Secrets.
Yeah. We should watch that sometime.
Okay. Yeah. Watch a bunch of Nicolas Cage films. We love to see him, an actor. Okay, we got to finish this comment. Yawn Theater, you should not monitor the amount of hits on one Pike. Just be satisfied you're one of them. He used the wrong "you're" in that context. Long live Buckethead. By the way, this Pike fucking rips nuts.
Hell yeah, it rips nuts.
Hell yeah. You know, Kenneth
Is that-
McNamara, I appreciate your sentiment. Thank you.
It
Yeah.
gave me a chemical.
It does rip
It gave me
nuts.
my chemical castration.
Thanks for using my joke.
That was about Bumbyride.
What?
That was about
Yeah, it was
Bumbyride.
about Bumbyride. Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, I agree wholeheartedly. That everything about that comment was correct.
Yeah, hell yeah, dude. That's a good vibe. User Heavy M says, if you're the guy, wrong you're in this context. If you're the guy who disliked this, I have your IP. This was 9 months ago on a video from 2014.
Dude, I hope he fucking like hacks everybody. And
He hacked the planet.
yeah, I hope he hacks the planet and like does away with all the bucket haters.
Yeah,
I think that we should make a pact that we all have to use the phrase "ripped nuts" in real life.
yeah. I'll say
Cool.
to a customer, I'll be like, "Yo, yeah, we can fix your shit no cost. That fucking rips nuts, doesn't it?" That's great. And then we got a response
A bucket.
6 months ago. We got a response to this comment. User Walter Farnsworth responds, says, chances are they're hiding behind 7 proxies.
Yeah.
You think they're hiding?
I use 3 VPNs whenever I listen to Buckethead, so nobody knows.
You got to use protection, dude.
Hell yeah, dude. I also, whenever I masturbate, I
You
use
have
3
to.
condoms as well, just in case.
Yeah. It would be great to bring out a bucket in a sexual context. Be like, I like to wear this while I come.
I'll consider it.
Yeah, do report back, please. It sounds
Hell
great.
yeah. Hell yeah.
We're gonna kind of wrap things up here in a minute, but what we're gonna do here is we're gonna talk about this comment and then a couple of responses to it. Okay, I'm gonna murder this name. Alan Crit Jindal says, "Is Buckethead God?"
No, he's the
Definitively.
Buddha of the West, and there's no gods in Buddhism. We've already determined this.
Okay, I could see that.
Okay.
We can't disprove him being God, though.
I mean, that which requires no evidence to prove requires no evidence to disprove.
That is true. I'm making no point.
Did you just make that up, Brett?
No, that's a Christopher Hitchens quote.
Cool.
Hmm.
No, that's great. Brandon Evans, though, thinks that, quote, Buckethead is the answer.
What is the question?
Is Buckethead God?
Oh, okay.
But that's not.
That
It's
still doesn't
it's a
make
yes or
sense.
no question. Like, Buckethead can't be the answer because Buckethead isn't yes or no.
But, like, think about it like that. Think about it just as the 1-2 punch. Is Buckethead God? Buckethead is the answer.
Buckethead. Yeah.
Buckethead is the answer. It
Fine.
means nothing, but says everything.
Cool. I don't know where you're going with this, dude.
We're going everywhere, and we're going nowhere.
Hell yeah, dog.
We're going on a
but okay, but
Bumbyride Dreamland.
yeah, well, no, we got one more response. Luciano M says, asking if Big B, capitalized there, is God, is blasphemy. It implies a doubt about his true divine entity. I mean, I kind of agree with that.
Hell yeah.
But-
Don't take Buckethead's name in vain. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, we can't do that. Bucket vein.
I think that's what he calls his dick.
When he's got to drain the main bucket vein.
Hell yeah.
Is it just like fried chicken grease that comes out?
Oh. You
Uh,
should look at a doctor if that's the case.
Definitely.
Just stare a doctor right in the
Yeah,
eye.
dude. Be like, look at this bucket vein. Look at this bucket vein.
Is this when all the edibles are starting to kick in for you guys?
No,
Oh, yeah.
I haven't taken edibles yet.
Oh,
Yet.
Nice. Yeah.
How about you? How's your how's that Templeton Rye treating you?
What?
Monty's been drinking straight from a bottle
I
of
finished
Templeton
it.
Rye this entire time. You haven't noticed that? He's been drinking straight whiskey through our entire podcast because he can't handle talking to us without getting wasted.
Yeah.
It's heavy, bro.
Hell yeah.
I love it.
Called out. I also finished off a White Claw.
Hell yeah.
I drank 2 beers, so I'm there with you.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool dogs.
Britt, you've just been pumping iron.
I've
Yeah.
been pumping iron and fucking drinking seltzer water.
Onward pounding.
Mm.
That was. Did you respond to that story?
Yes, I did.
Yes, you did.
Yes, I did. With onward pounding in all caps, and that's
Yes.
it.
Yes.
Is there context
Yeah, so
to this?
so
Tell us.
Manowar's Instagram put up a thing, and Spencer sent this to me like this morning, and it was like, what Manowar lyrics describe your life best? And Spencer typed in
May your sword stay wet like a young girl in her prime.
which is great. And I was like, mine's a little more simple, and mine is just onward pounding. Either that or Cracker Jack clothes.
You guys know more Manowar lyrics than
Oh, dude.
Yeah, I
have
Manowar
no
fucking idea.
all night. Brothers of Metal, here in the hall. Yeah.
Like, no, I still listen to Manowar probably on a monthly basis.
Manowar's a time, dude.
There was a time where I listened to them on a daily basis for probably 3 years straight.
Imagine if you were the sort of person who did CrossFit while listening to Manowar.
Joey DeMaio.
what a
You know Joey DeMaio only listens to his own music while he works out, right?
Oh, totally.
And it's
yeah,
so gay.
why would he
It's-
listen to anything
He
else?
just, well, I mean, yeah, after he mutes the gay porn, like
For sure.
So Monty, I don't know if you know this, but Manowar has a podcast called Words of Power with Joey DeMaio, where Joey DeMaio just talks.
Britt, can you do me a thing? Can
What's
you,
that?
with the time you have on your hands, can
Mhm.
you please try to socially engineer us an interview with Joey DeMaio?
That would be amazing. I would love to be a friend.
Pretend to be more respectable than you are.
That would be great. We should try to make friends with Manowar because
If you're not into metal, you are not my friend.
How does that make you feel, Mozzie?
try something else.
Well, it's
Well-
the end of Bucket Void.
Oh, okay.
Statements from the Buckethead.
Who made these?
me.
So what's the next segment?
So we like to shout things out that we think are cool. So I
Yeah.
want to say hey, if you have a thing you're into, what is it? Is it cool? And I think Britt will get us started here. Britt, you got anything to recommend?
Yeah. What I would recommend, especially to any musicians out there, any emerging bucketheads of their own, if you have an instrument that you're not totally down with, see how you can switch it up. I just replaced the pickups on my main guitar, my Epiphone DOT, to some Seth Lovers, and it has given me a new lease on my instrument. I feel like it sounds
who
like
made those. Who made those pickups? That DiMarzio? Is that who made those?
one sec. I think so, yeah. Seymour Duncan, sorry. Yeah, Seymour Duncan,
Seymour
Seth
Duncan.
Lovers. So, yeah, they're made to the original specs of the 1950s pickups that they're based on.
Mm.
And they just it makes my instrument sound totally different, and I fucking love it. It's just a way cooler sounding instrument now than it ever was before. And so I'd give a big shout out to, especially if you play an electronic instrument, maybe just switch up your pickups if you're tired of playing something.
That's a good tip.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
I'm going to try that on something.
Cool. What do you got
Right.
to recommend, Monty?
Spencer, go first.
Okay.
Spencer, you.
Me. It's me. It's Spencer. I'm
Hello,
here.
hello, me. It's Spence again.
Hello, me. I love Dave Mustaine. I don't recommend watching Dave Mustaine talk about things.
No, especially politics.
Especially politics. I'm glad he doesn't really. Does he talk out about?
I don't
politics
know.
anymore? I don't even know. Like I don't feel like he does. 'Cause people aren't as mad, which is good, I guess. But also,
He hasn't played a concert in like 16 months at least. So
Yeah.
apparently they're almost done with their newest album, which they took like 3 years to make.
Yeah.
Yeah, the sequel to Dystopia.
Oh yeah. They've got the dude from Angra playing guitar
Really?
for him. Yeah.
That's
What's
cool.
His name? He's so good.
He is very good.
His solo albums are so rad too. I forget his name, but he's good.
I wonder who's playing drums for him, because I mean Dave Ellefson is still bassist for him.
It's
so.
another. It's he's really big on Instagram. I found his page the other day. I forgot his name. But he's like a pretty famous metal drummer. But he's only played for like butt rock bands. Like I don't know any of the bands. I don't remember any of the bands he plays with.
He used to play with Soilwork.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Yeah,
Soilwork's good. I like Soilwork.
they're fine. He also played with Mortuary, Yurkun. He's done. Oh wow. Oh shit. He's done session work for Aborted.
Okay. Oh, that's cool. I didn't know that. Actually, never mind. I don't know. I might be thinking of somebody else.
Oh, he
What is
also
that
he did session work for David Townsend Project too. He's worked with Worrell Dane and Jeff Loomis of Nevermore.
What is that guy's name?
Satyricon. His name is Dirk Verburen.
Oh, that guy. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
He has the worst beard like of all time. 1 sec, let me.
Monty, do you know that guy?
Yeah, Dirk.
Do you
Huh?
know that guy?
Yeah, Dirk is. Whoa, what happened? Oh, there we go. I thought my shit crashed. Yeah, Dirk. Yeah, whoa. Yeah, he looks like he's from Everett.
Right,
Yeah,
doesn't
he
he?
does, right?
That's why he's played with fucking Jeff Loomis so much, is because he has an Everett beard.
No?
Yeah, Dirk Verburen. Yeah, he's he's an incredible drummer. I know he also, like, if you've ever done like Superior Drummer,
Yeah.
I think like a lot of the samples that you hear were actually performed by
I
him.
think you're right, actually, yeah. I was thinking that was somebody else entirely. I don't know what I was thinking.
Yeah, 'cause,
yeah,
like-
right. Hell yeah.
Yeah, because like
Yeah,
isn't Drum Kit from Hell mostly like the guy from fucking Meshuggah?
Yeah, that's a different one.
that was back like when like Easy Drummer did like some expansions.
Those are just expansions.
I think that they did like a Thomas. What's his last name? Hake
Hake,
Thomas
I think
Hoka,
Hake.
something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that was a long time ago.
Okay.
But
Well, they did do that. They released like a MIDI pack.
Oh yeah.
that
It's,
was
yeah,
like-
it was
it was
just
like-
the Metalheads pack apparently,
was
which was an
Meshuggah.
add-on to Drum Kit from Hell.
mm,
Oh no! I take it back. Drum Kit from Hell was done entirely by him. I was right.
Oh, wow.
I was right, baby.
Dope. That's sick. I had no idea.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So that's what you recommend, Dirk Verburen?
Yeah, I guess so. Sure.
I recommend Dirk Verburen's beard and growing one of them.
No,
Dirk
you don't.
Verburen's Everett beard.
I almost want that to be the name of the podcast, but no
That's
one's
a
going to
pretty.
get that.
That's a pretty good episode. Okay, actually, you know what? I have an anti-recommendation, and I'm
Mhm.
going to talk about it for a second, and that is the app Nextdoor. Don't get on Nextdoor. It is dumb. So
What is
let
it
me talk
exactly?
about Nextdoor for a second. If you don't know what Nextdoor is, it's basically like a social network for people around your house. So like people that live nearby you.
What?
This is mostly how it works. However, it is stupid. The only reason I made an account was because there was a car that was parked outside of my building whose car alarm started going off at 3:30 in the morning and went off consistently every 8 minutes until like I think 6:30 a.m. 6:30 or 7:30 a.m. So it was like a very long time of car alarm right in the middle of sleeping time, and it made me very, very angry. And so I took a picture of the car. I also left a note on the car. I don't remember what the note said, but I was very mad, so I'm sure it said something really aggressive. But I also made a post on Nextdoor that was like, yo, if this is your car, like, get your shit together. Like, what the fuck? Like, why did you fucking leave your car alarm to go off all night, you asshole? Like, but I didn't say it so aggressively. I basically just said, like, hey, if this is your car, like, get your shit together. Like, I had to listen to your car go off all night. Like, that shit sucks. Like, what, you know? And so I got a few responses of people being like, yeah, dude, that car sucks. And then, like, this one lady took issue with the fact that I used the word shit in my post. Okay. So let me find it. 1 second. I gotta find it here. Here we go. Hold on 1 second. That's like really difficult to find shit. Okay. Cool. So this lady says, Judy Jones says.
Judy Jones.
Sounds like a comic book character. Says, I agree with your emotion, but would you please consider not using words that some of your neighbors find offensive? I like the idea of the note and the idea that the owner may be ignorant. And then okay, so that's like whatever. It's like I don't care.
Can I give you the proper response to this? Eat my shit, Judy.
So here's the thing.
Rip nut.
Rip nuts, baby.
That's the name of the episode. Ripped nuts, Judy. Okay, so this is where it gets weird because like I saw that and I was like, okay, Judy, whatever. And then like a day later, I get a direct message from someone named Viv something. So just we'll call her Viv. And it's a really long message, but I'm going to read it to you. It says, January 19th, 2021. Oh my God, I have a personal policy of not replying to posts or comments in an inflammatory way. Therefore, I'm privately telling you that I so wanted to reply to the Judy woman and ask if she would have preferred the word excrement, external bowel movements, or crap. Jeesh! Imagine not being able to handle the word shit in this day and age. P.S. I am 66, probably within a stone's throw of dear Judy's age. Hope you were able to leave a note and get the alarming problem resolved. And it just goes on and on and on. It's like this very long comment about Judy. Yeah.
Spenser, that sounds delightful.
It's great. It's great. I'm not.
Why don't you like this happening?
I'm just saying, like, okay.
Yeah, you made friends with an old bad bitch. That's cool
So
as fuck.
Viv is dope. Like
Viv is a fucking. She's a real one.
Oh, Viv is real as fuck. Like, I'm not hating on Viv. More what I'm hating on, if I'm hating on it at all, I'm saying, like, I did not sign up for this experience that I'm having. I signed up to complain about a car alarm, but instead, a woman is mad that I used shit, and then another woman is like, no, fuck that bitch, and then is like filling up my DMs with this stuff, and I'm like, that's great, Viv, thank you, but also, like, what is happening right now?
Question, you think Viv has that bomb-ass pussy?
Oh, we know it.
Hell yeah. I mean, it's either that or it's like a fucking old catcher's mitt, just all leathery and like smells like a fucking baseball locker room.
You've got a vivid imagination, Britt.
I've got a Viv imagination, baby.
Yeah. All right. Well, anyways.
Monty, what do you have to recommend to us?
Oh, right. Yeah, Monty.
Yeah.
What you got? It can be anything, Monty. What you got?
Microdose.
Ooh, microdose.
Take more mushrooms.
Okay.
You do a little enough, and you're not gonna feel anything. In fact, I fall asleep sometimes while I'm on mushrooms, and yeah, do more mushrooms. It's cool.
Nice. Okay.
Hell yeah.
I was unprepared for that. I don't know. I feel like I want to recommend something else.
That's cool.
Okay.
If you think of anything in the
I just
next
am looking at all
45
the
seconds.
Clean your desk.
Yeah.
Clean. You know what I
Yeah.
recommend?
Yeah.
Clean your desk. Like, it makes doing stuff at your desk way better.
I did that the other day.
My desk
Yeah.
is dirty right now, and
I'm sorry.
I don't like it.
You gotta clean it, dude.
No, it's fine. Yeah, have a clean desk when you're doing
It's
stuff.
really nice. Like,
And the stuff that you're doing.
yeah. It's gonna be cleaner.
So,
Oh yeah.
there I go.
Mr.
Cleaner on
Clean
the
over
inside.
here. No.
But also do mushrooms.
For real, like I did clean my house the other day, and like it did help. Like I was having a day where I was like, oh man, like not super feeling it. Then the next day, after I spent a day cleaning my house, I woke up and I was like, oh, my house is so clean. This is so nice. It's so great. It's really nice.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. All right. You wanna close this bad boy out?
Let's do it.
Is that it? There's no outro sequence?
No. Hey, Monty, where do you have anything to plug? And where can we find you on social media?
If you want to be followed.
Captain Spaghetti spelled out on Instagram if you want. I'm just working on a bunch of ambient music right now. 1,000 Winged Moth.
Oh, I love that. It's awesome.
.bandcamp.com.
That's pretty cool.
It's not very good.
Is it,
Do you?
that's a cool.
Thanks,
cool
Spence.
name,
Yeah, that sounds dope. I like that name.
It reminds
Great.
me of like a Mothra standalone.
Have you played that game?
Yeah.
That game that makes me think of Hollow Knight. You played that game?
Have I played Hollow Knight? Yeah, totally. I'm not a very good gamer, so it's really hard for
I
me.
thought the game was hard
But
too.
I have played it and I did enjoy it.
Yeah.
Speaking of really hard for me, let's talk about our sponsor, Blue Chew. Spencer, how's your boner?
No.
How's your
no.
boner, Spencer?
My boner's great. It's mighty. It's onward pounding. Okay. It's into glory riding. Okay.
Yeah. Is it wet like a young girl in her prime?
Yeah, you know it, baby.
Well, maybe you should stop pissing on your dick, faggot.
God damn it. Well, anyways.
Spencer, where can we find you?
I don't wanna. It's fine. I don't care.
Spencer can be found at New Metal Karate Society. I can be found at Queer Goth, or The Queer Goth. I don't care. You can find us on socials at Bucketcast or at a Bucketcast. Just try both of them. I don't remember which is
We
which.
need to make this simpler. We need to like just say one link that goes to like all the links.
I mean, I guess, yeah, maybe we should just put a link tree in our IG.
And then we should get a domain and forward it to the link tree.
Well, we already have a domain.
Oh, yeah. So we just have a page. Can we have a page like bucketcast.com/contacts or something?
We do. So we already have this. So
Bucketcast. I know we do.
Just
You're
go
right.
to
I
just
feel
go
dumb
to
saying it.
gettinhead.biz and you can find all of our information there.
But not
Okay,
Monty's
that-
information.
Not well. I'll put it
Monty's
up. I'll
information
put it
is
up
not-
later. I'll put up his personal information, address, social security number.
Yeah.
Yeah.
100%.
Medical
Hey,
history.
real quick, Spencer, are your nails painted?
Yes.
He did them Kirk Hammett style, like you.
Are yours, Britt?
No, I'm not a Kirk Hammett. I'm more of a
Monty.
James Hetfield.
You got him.
Next time we do this, we should all have painted nails.
Yeah.
Yeah, well,
Fancy
I mean,
boys.
I'm gonna go have my Atlas rise. So
Do tell. You're what? Are you John Galting? What's happening?
no, Atlas Rise was the song off of I think Death Magnetic. But you guys don't get my latter-day Metallica jokes because you don't listen to latter-day Metallica because you're not uncool enough.
Wow. Okay. Dope. You schooled us. That's great. I'm not saying angry about it.
This has been Britain.
And this has been Spencer.
And this has been Montgomery Forrest McCleary II.
You've been listening to Gettin' Head, a bucket cast.
Stay greasy, bucketheads.
Namaste.
Cheers.